Ladies and gentlemen, days and days have gone by, the seasons are changing, and time has passed heavy. Throughout this channel, I've made multiple videos talking about different characters, crash outs, anime, or even games I used to mess with heavy. I've spoken about a lot of different topics that are important to me here, and shit, I'm gonna keep doing it too. Cause one day I'm gonna be random as hell and talk about a bunch of shit that makes no sense. It's my dream, man, it's my dream. But you could already tell that entertainment in general, it's my life, bro. It's what I live for. I love setting my files down and watching things like my favorite heroes boxing on the screen, playing as a samurai and get to run in the fade, or even being able to binge 10 episodes of anime one day. Okay, I'm lying. I sadly lost my ability to do this in lockdown. It got taken away from me, man. My attention span is weak. But let's get to it. Throughout all the shows, movies, and games that I've played, looking at all the different characters and their lifestyles, their passions, what gets them to commit and gives them more in-depth character development and makes them special to us. Yeah, I would hate to be some of these, man. Their lives are horrible. So much characters have some of the most stressful things I've ever seen go on in somebody's life. I'm talking about if you walked a day in their shoes, you wouldn't make it past the door. If you had their powers and abilities for a day, you would die. If you had their fits and started rocking clothes the same way they do, you would get clowned. Their existence is depressing. Anything from their goals, their origin stories showing how they became a certain way, to even the foods they flip and eat is just straight criminal. And as much as I think some of these characters are dope, cool as hell, and if I could be them for a little bit, or even take some of the things that makes them cool, that doesn't mean I want to fully be them. Their lives are hard, man. So for today, I thought I'd go over some characters that I would hate to be for a day. So let's be honest here. No! So let's get into pick number 1. And the man I'm going to be speaking about is... Now, when it comes to most superheroes and the way they lead their lives, Batman and Spider-Man have some of the hardest lives in superhero history. It's mad. You know, some of the pros to being Batman is that your alter ego is rich as hell. You're a billionaire. You can do whatever you want with your money. I know for a fact, if I was Bruce Wayne for a day, the way I'm gonna bank transfer myself a cool 10 mil is crazy. I'm about to be a real millionaire. I'm about to live that high life, man. But not only are you a rich bastard, Bruce Wayne, he stayed pulling. He's out here mashing work. One time he was under the mistletoe and he had the whole squad running for him. That's another perk to being Bruce Wayne. You get all the girls, man. Like Bruce was really out here trying to talk to Lois in front of Clark. This guy was about to finesse Superman's girlfriend. That's wild. You also get to be boys with the GOAT Alfred. Probably eat 5-course meals all the time. Buy designer whenever you want. Drive Ferraris every weekend. And you get to chill in a big ass mansion outside the city of Gotham. So you're not even in the city where shit goes crazy. So with all of the benefits that come with being Bruce Wayne, hell yeah, bro, this is what I'm looking for, man. But to be Batman? No! There's a lot of bullshit that comes with being Batman. First off, you just a regular ass human. You ain't got no powers, no crazy ass techniques, no flipping whooshy finger. You a normal ass guy who's got money, who's out here scrapping and jumping into scenarios like you're flipping Superman. Okay, I'm chatting shit here. Batman's above average at least, you know, he can do some crazy shit. But the point is, you're at most a peak human. Then you're out here trying to defend Gotham City. Bro, Gotham City is cooked. You can't save it. It's too far gone. You can't do nothing here. First, the crime is so outrageous. People be getting lit up in broad daylight. Bank robberies in the middle of the day. Shit, this city has such a bad rep. I know for a fact that when you think about Gotham, when you try to visualize the city without looking at any comic, remembering any scene you've seen in a Batman movie, or even if anything about Gotham came to your mind, I know you just picture it at night. Gotham is always pitch black. The daytime doesn't exist here. The sun always passes the city because it knows it's straight up evil. Gotham breathes crime. It's full of multiple organizations like the Falcone and Maroni crime families, the League of Assassins who are out here trying to destroy the city, the Court of Owls, which is basically just the Illuminati, and then there's Rogues Gallery. They're a bunch of sickos. We got the fat ass Penguin, Riddler, Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, Two-Face, Black Mask, Man-Bat, Bane, Professor Pig, Clayface, Poison Ivy, Deathstroke, and by far the worst villain of all time, the man who starts the majority of all crimes in Gotham, the biggest menace to ever be made in the streets and somebody who needs to get packed off immediately, is Condiment King. And this guy is evil, man. And you want to know why he's Gotham's worst villain? How he's the sickest man to come out of here? How he parties everybody else and sets himself as Gotham's worst criminal? Is that he can shoot mayonnaise. No, that's my nightmare. Condiment King will make you eat a mayonnaise sandwich. He's disgusting. Get him out of here. Oh yeah, and the joke is there too. But the point I'm trying to make is, to even step up to the role as Batman, to go ahead and stop major crime, send the bad guys to jail, and save lives, is that whilst you're out here fighting someone else, I can guarantee you somebody else on the other side of the sea is getting packed up. They're getting dropped. Bro, too much shit goes on here. And the GCPD? They're corrupt. Some of the officers in there work for the Joker, so they're useless. However, this isn't why I wanted to speak about Batman. See, these are somewhat normal things you could apply and say about most superheroes. Because to be a hero, as much as it is a good thing, It's definitely some bullshit. You would literally come face to face with people who would kill millions, then kill your family, and then you send them to jail knowing that when they break out, they finna just kill everyone else. It's so stupid. The reason why I wanted to speak about hating to be Batman for a day was to talk about the insanity that is Absolute Batman. Now, Absolute Batman is a whole different thing, man. It's crazy. It's a whole different take where a bunch of other shit goes down. Instead of being a billionaire and coming from a rich family, Bruce is broke as hell. His dad was a teacher and his mom is a social worker. So the man had to go get his money and work his way up. And the other changes they made in this universe is kind of crazy. Bruce was childhood friends with a bunch of his enemies now, like Penguin, Catwoman, and Killer Croc. Alfred's out here looking like Ra's al Ghul and he's an assassin. Jim Gordon is the mayor. And this guy, instead of having a bunch of gadgets and weapons like regular Batman, he's out here using a whole battle axe and a bulldozer. He's crazy. But what I'm actually looking to direct your attention to are Absolute Batman's villains. Because the Lord have mercy, these guys are horrifying. Look at them. Mr. Freeze looks like Slender Man. What is this? He looks like he came straight out of a horror movie. Killer Croc. This man is Godzilla. Look at Bane. Wait a minute. You think this is Bane with Venom? Nah, bro. This is normal Bane. Bane with Venom is built like he's Humongousaur. He's gripping this man like he's Woody from Toy Story. What is this? Clayface is a hive mind. Now he's a bunch of people. Poison Ivy is a forest. Look at Man Bat. He's disgusting. Black Mask. Yeah, he's got a fat head now. And then the worst one, Joker is out here sitting down with a bunch of dead babies on his body. What is the context behind this? What does this mean? It's horrifying. But you think I'm done here? No. We thought the worst form we've ever seen the Joker in was in Arkham Asylum, when he turned into some hulkified Joker with a mohawk. And I thought at the time this was the craziest form the Joker ever had. Well, I was wrong, because what in God's name is this? This is the Absolute Joker. What the hell is that? Joker became a kaiju. This nigga went through some crazy mutation. I don't know what the hell the story is behind that, but God forbid, this guy's a demon. Absolute Batman has the worst villain roster I've ever seen any hero have, because people out here build like demons in this world. They're sick. I'm not gonna lie though, to be Batman for a day, to just chill in the Batcave, beat up some criminals, or a farm on top of a building, and get to doing it with Catwoman would be dope as hell. But besides that, hell no. And to even go ahead and be Absolute Batman for a day, I'm gonna let you figure that one out. Imagine living in a nice suburban household. You have a loving family, you go to a great school, you have a lot of friends, and your life is just amazing in general. You're enjoying it. And it's everything you could have asked for. Except if your name is Meg, then your life is shit. Meg Griffin has nothing. She has nothing. She is nothing. Time and time again throughout the whole of Family Guy, she's out here always getting finessed. Her own family treat her like shit. Shooting her, dashing her into space, leaving her under a roof beam for 2 days starving. Jumped on her dead body. Her own mom called her garbage. They don't like her so much, they even get her friends to clown her. Peter's friends were giving her wet willies and put a lighter to her head that was burning her hat. And you know who else was there? Joe. And you want to know something about Joe? He's a fed. How are you just sitting there letting that happen? What is this? It's a crime. But by far the worst person to ever say anything or do anything to Meg is her own father. Peter Griffin is Meg's biggest hater. If Meg only had one hater in the world, it would be her own dad. Because I swear to God, he does not rate her. He's a psycho. He does not like her at all. When she changed her looks and became a blonde, Peter was out here laughing at how she used to look before and told her she was clapped. And even told Chris to burn all her past photos. That's your daughter, man. How you hating on her looks? He constantly beat the shit out of her, punching her in the face, tripping her up, shooting her, getting the family to ruin her, basically rejected her as his daughter, called her ugly all the time, kicked her out of the house, farted in her face all the time. Even Japanese Peter didn't rate her so much that he made her stab herself and fart on her body. It's crazy. And Peter even made her stay in the car when he farted to sit in his fart. That's torture, man. How could you do this to someone? When Meg was first born, her name was meant to be Megan Griffin. Until Peter changed her name to Megatron. So Meg is short for Megatron. I can't lie though, that's kind of hard. That's a dope ass name. But still, he made a daughter have a villain name. Come on, man, that's evil. She takes shots from everyone constantly, and most of the time their reasoning behind it is because she's ugly. But I ain't gonna lie, the ugliness is somewhat true. In one episode where she's training to fight a bully and has some whole Karate Kid montage with Quagmire, when she actually gets to step in to fight the guy, the girl uses the gross and just starts popping her pimple. And when she lifted her shirt up, he disintegrated into bones. She literally killed him with her body. So I guess it's somewhat true. Also, in that one episode where Brian and Stewie are traveling to different universes and they go to the Disney World, Meg is built like Ursula. That's clap. But it's still hella sad. The only times I remember anybody in Family Guy actually treating Meg like a human being was when Quagmire trained her to be her bully. When Quagmire again was trying to get busy with her and Peter came rushing in to stop them, so I ain't gonna lie, Quagmire was tripping it. He's a sicko. And when Peter became principal for an episode and started protecting Meg. Besides that, everyone else is a hater. The only two people that somewhat treat Meg normal are Stewie and Brian. And one time, Brian was so nice to Meg, she started having feelings toward him. That's how bad she gets treated. She got so delusional from that she was about to go ahead and do the business with a dog. She lost her mind. Being Meg just looks like a headache. You're constantly ridiculed by your own family coming at you all the time. Nobody at school rates you, and you'll just make jokes about you being ugly and just straight up chop. And then on top of that, you die every other episode. It's cooked here, man. Your life is horrible. And to go ahead and be Meg for a day, I'd rather be a Muppet, man. Now, if you were to go ahead and ask me as a kid who my favorite Dragon Ball characters were, I would have told you Goku, obviously, Tien, and Yamcha. Because in OG Dragon Ball, Yamcha was that guy, man. He was cool. He was a desert bandit who ran the fade with Goku and won. And so what if he beat him when he was just a kid? You're forgetting this guy used to turn into a giant monkey at night. A win's a win. He was a self-taught martial artist who knew about Grandpa Gohan, created his own techniques like the Spirit Ball and the goated Wolfang Fist. And on top of all of this, he bought the fine shit Bulma. So Yamcha's already out here moving like the MVP. He used to be an elite fighter and was out here handing smoke to people. Yamcha versus Tien is one of the most underrated fights in Dragon Ball. These guys were boxing, and in this fight, Yamcha pulled off his first Kamehameha, which he only learned from watching Goku and Roshi do it. That was his first attempt. Yamcha had potential in Dragon Ball. Him and Tien were some of the sickest characters, and I thought they would have stayed boxing. But they didn't. The reason why I wanted to say I'd hate being Yamcha for a day is because of this man's life in Z. See, Yamcha just completely derailed right when Z came along. He lost all his swag, he became trash. When he got packed up by the Cybermen Nappa sent out, his career went down after that. He got killed by Dr. Gero, got his arm broken and dropped by Cell Jr., just became more naive and started chatting shit a lot more, played baseball with these men and hit the exact same pose from when he got blown up by the Cybermen. And the worst thing this guy ever did, and also the stupidest thing, was him cheating on Bulma. But then he's also afraid of women. So how does that even happen? What does that even mean? And then Bulma and Chi-Chi started clowning him in front of everyone. They were hating. Dragon Ball Z hold Yamcha. Shit, they hold all the humans. Tien held down Cell with his tri-beam, keeping him there to stall him. And that's the best thing he did in Z. He would also be out here getting his shit rocked. But in OG Dragon Ball, Tien was one of the best fighters. He should have been the strongest human. All it is that if you're even the most professional and above average fighter in Dragon Ball, beside Krillin, you'll get your shit rocked. It's impossible. However, I want to address something that the fanbase really just pulled out their ass cheeks. Is that Yamcha is the most useless character in Dragon Ball Z. And bro, where the hell did that shit come from? It makes no sense. You man saw him get finessed by the Cybermen and ran with that shit. Yamcha stepped in to fight the Cybermen in the first place because if Krillin fought him and died, well, that's it. He's not coming back again. And with him constantly still coming to fights to help out and save the world from the bad guys, Yamcha's pretty useful. Also, the most important thing this guy ever did was cheat on Bulma. Otherwise, we would never have the GOAT Trunks. So the complaints against Yamcha make no sense. But to actually speak about the most useless Dragon Ball character, one of the most bummy people I've ever seen in anime, the most unimportant character in the show, was Chelsea. Now I get it, we all like Chelsea, he's adorable. But he doesn't contribute to anything. What the hell does this guy do? He's useless. He's there to just smile and wave. He got packed up in the world tournament by Krillin. Did nothing in Dragon Ball Z with him attempting to self-destruct on Nappa and hold him in place with his telekinesis. And nothing happened. Then he disappeared for the whole of the Cell games. But Tien pulled up. Where was this guy, bro? He was at home chilling. Chelsea knew he was too weak to run the fade with the androids. He couldn't do nothing, man. He is nothing. Yamcha used to be one of my favorite characters in anime growing up. His drip was on point. He was spitting game. He was even the first person to point out that cutting Goku's tail off would probably make him change back to normal. And I just used to mess with him heavy. But in Z, he's garbage. And to spend a day in the life as Yamcha? Hell no, man. I'd rather get killed by Frieza. But these were some characters I think if you were to beat them for a little bit, you'd have a hard knock life, man. Their lives are sad. If you got any more characters with day-to-days that are unbearable, write it down in the comments below. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a great day. And one more thing, I'm out blanching, girl, we blanching. I live up in a mansion.